All right, just some examples of how this police state strategy is being rolled out here. Here's an article, Boy Scouts trained to become Homeland Gestapo. Infowars.com, this is back in May of 2009. This isn't new, folks, but I'm just trying to tell people who don't know. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing here. They have an agreement now where the Boy Scouts of America are now shaking hands with Homeland Security. It used to be about helping the old lady across the street and going on camping trips. No, now we're going to train them to take on disgruntled veterans and train them for gun confiscation. That's what they're now doing. Keep in mind, Hitler did this. Hitler had his Hitler Youth. He co-opted the youth in Germany and turned them into a very threatening force. You think, well, these are just kids. Yeah, they're just kids now. Yeah, and then 6 to 8 years from now, when in their 20s and they've had 8 years of training, are they going to be a joke then? No, they're not. They're being indoctrinated at a young age. They're being taught that, you know, gun owners are bad, returning veterans are bad, and by golly, we're going to train the Boy Scouts to take them out. That's in there. This is Infowars.com, but it's in New York Times and other publications, multiple places. They're training them to do this. Another one here, this is in AFP, DHS enlists Girl Scouts for National Citizen Preparedness Effort. This is the same thing, the militarization of the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts. Hitler used the girls too, not just the guys. I'm sorry. So there it is there. There's another article here. Where is it here? Oh yeah. Bible student threatened for teaching Constitution. This is a Christian college up in Mount Vernon where a student, a guy named Jeff, who was a Bible student, intern pastor, was teaching the Boy Scouts where he was about the Constitution. Well, the meeting was recorded. DHS had a look at it, and they visited him and told him he was engaged in terror and espionage and was threatened. Yeah, the men in black, the guys with the suits and sunglasses, literally came and visited him, and he was told to back off of this, or, and in their words, we can have your head on a silver platter. Their words. So much for the Constitution, so much for teaching our young people about freedom and liberty and the Bill of Rights. Homeland Security is not about security. Benjamin Franklin said, you know, those who would give up freedom for security will get neither. And in my opinion, they deserve neither. You don't, when you give up freedom, you don't get security, you get the T word, tyranny. This is not, there's nothing new under the sun. Historically, this has happened over and over again. And now it's happening here. It's not happening overnight, but over time they are rolling this out. Maybe it's not in your neighborhood, maybe you haven't seen it yet, but that doesn't mean it's not happening in other places, and it is. So these are just a few of the concerns that I have, and I want to get into another one here, which is really crazy. This is really over the top. You know, 1984, George Orwell, here we are. Big Sis invasion of Walmart. We now have a new cooperation between Walmart and the Department of Homeland Security, which is what I want to talk about next. Alrighty. Big Sis invasion of Walmart. Yes, here it is, folks. And this is a more recent development. This was something that developed late last year, I believe in December of 2010, where Janet Napolitano announced her See Something, Say Something program. This is a citizen spy operation. That's what they're trying to get out of this. Now you realize the Gestapo during World War II, 80% of the information that they responded to was from informants, from citizens. This is big. If they can train the public to be snitches, they'll do it. And here's the scary thing. They know how the human mind works. They know psychologically how to manipulate people. People who have low self-esteem, and it boosts their self-esteem to think, hey, I have something, I can tell the government something that they need to know, and that makes me feel important. They want to listen to me. They know how to use those kinds of people. They're there are instances where they will pay people for information. So, hey, economic collapse, hard times, yeah, I'll lie about my neighbor for 20 bucks, sure. When things get tough, we'll see what people are made of and how good of neighbors we really have. This is why it's good to know your neighbors. It's good to be connected with your community so that they can't break that. They can't divide and conquer. And this is what they really want to do at Walmart is they want to set up telescreens in hundreds of Walmarts. I think it may be actually over 900. The number changes as we go here. Where either the checkout counter or around the store, they'll have TV screens of Janet Napolitano or some other DHS bureaucrat sitting there talking to you while you're shopping, saying, "Do you see something strange? Be sure to snitch on your neighbor and tell us." I mean, that's what they're doing. They're coming right out in the open and telling you, yes, this is what we want you to do. It's crazy. So like I said, this just came out recently, and we should be very concerned about this. I'm not going to spy on my neighbor. I'm not going to snitch on somebody because he's illegally parked. Okay? Someone jaywalks, that doesn't make him a terrorist. And here's the other scary thing is something that would be considered a normal crime that you would simply call the police for, now it's like it's an act of terrorism. Keep in mind, like in Germany and Soviet Russia, the police were not there to save you from crime. They were political enforcers, commissars, and they would arrest people who would speak out or say anything against the establishment. If they spoke out against corruption, you got to on the door. That's what you got to visit. And they weren't there to help you find your stolen car or any of this kind of stuff. They were political enforcers. That's what they want to turn the average citizen into. That's what they want to turn our police into. So anyway, don't listen to me. Let's just play the film here. I will show you the video of Janet Napolitano getting right in your face and saying that she wants you to watch over your neighbor's shoulder. So let's just play the video. Here it is.
Hi, I'm Janet Napolitano, Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. Homeland Security begins with hometown security. That's why I'm pleased that Walmart is helping to make our communities more safe and secure. If you see something suspicious in the parking lot or in the store, say something immediately. Report suspicious activity to your local police or sheriff. If you need help, ask a Walmart manager for assistance. Thank you for doing your part to help keep our hometowns safe.
All right, folks. There you heard it right from Janet Napolitano herself. She wants us to spy on each other at Walmart or wherever else. Keep in mind, this is not limited to Walmart. The See Something, Say Something program has already been expanded to include stadiums, hotels, train stations, malls, you name it. They want to roll this out everywhere, okay? And the last thing we need is to turn half the population into informants. That's what they did in East Germany. That was hell for those people. We don't want that here. We have a beautiful republic and a Constitution and Bill of Rights that's worth defending. And what can you do? Empowering you is important to me, and I want to talk about that. I want to end with that, which is studying what's going on, being informed yourself and informing others, getting to know your neighbors, get to know those who are at your church. If you're not in one, be in one. Get to know those at your schools, your place of work. Build relationships where you have trust. Having good, strong family connections. Where you have broken down families, where you have unhealthy communities, neighbors that don't like each other, that's the kind of thing that can be exploited. So those are the things we want to work to overcome and have good relationships instead of bad relationships in whatever area that we're talking about here. Neighbors, families, churches, schools, whatever. Extending a hand of friendship to law enforcement. They are not the enemy here. This is what they would like you to think. Oh my God, the police are going to get us. Or for the police for that matter, oh my God, all these citizens, they're going to get us. And it becomes an us against them thing, and we don't want that. This report, it could be like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Keep in mind, it was patriotic law enforcement officers who helped to leak this thing out because they were concerned. They don't like this either. And so it's important not to let us be divided and conquered, but to be unified. Unified in the sense that we all stand up for the Constitution, that we all stand up for the Bill of Rights, and that we do unto our neighbors as we would want them to do unto us. You know. And lastly, pray. I'm a Christian. I believe in the power of intercession. Pray for those in authority that it would go well with us, because the implication is if we don't, it won't. So, you know, let's not be criticizing and attacking them. Let's intercede for our civic leaders here. And so anyway, I just want to thank you for joining me today, and we'll see you next time on the Thiessen Report. And don't forget to visit my website, www.thiessenreport.com. Thank you for joining me.